Hello, today I wanted to do a One Book July update, and I don't have it for the first week of July because I was pretty much gone for the first week of July, so this has really been the first full week that I've been able to use this binder. So I'll be 1 week short on the updates, but I just wanted to take you through what I'm using, and yeah. So I'm using a Franklin Covey Harper binder in the classic size, and it's in lilac. I tried to change my lighting a little bit to get a better picture of what the color is, but it's really hard to capture purple on my camera for some reason. But it is a beautiful lilac color. It looks a little more silvery gray on camera, but in person it's just beautiful. I bought this used on a Franklin Covey Facebook group. And I didn't even know this binder existed until I saw it, and I immediately knew I loved it. One thing that I have realized is, as I watch other people's videos, you see things, you're like, oh man, I'd really like to try that. One of the ones that I would really like to try is Vegan Organizer's zip Filofax that she has her Hobonichi weeks in. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I would really love to try that. But I'm going to try this first and see how it goes, but I'm not going to be too harsh with myself. If I decide this doesn't work, that's okay. I'll just sell the binder and deal with the, the cost of the inserts and try something new, because I realized that with this, it's a hobby. I enjoy it, and most of the time with this kind of stuff, you don't know if you'll like it until you try it. But so far, so good, and it's just beautiful. My only reservation about it is the size, how heavy it is, and how bulky it is. I had to get this size for what I had planned to use this for, but it makes it completely not, I can't carry this around in my purse with me. I can still use my phone, and I always have a little notebook and pen in my purse to write things down as I go along, and then I can transfer it into this later when I come home. I won't have a problem bringing this with me to work, because as a teacher I haul all kinds of stuff around, and so this won't be a big deal that way. And I think I will enjoy seeing this on my desk, but it's not very portable for other purposes. We'll see how that goes. Normally I have a work binder and I have a home binder, so I'm going to try them all together and see how it goes. So let me take you quickly through my setup. Just inside my binder, I have a couple of pens. I have my Retro 51 Twinkle in one side, and I have my Platinum 3776 Nice in the other. I have discovered that Franklin Covey paper is incredibly fountain pen friendly, which was a very pleasant surprise to me, and so I have enjoyed using my fountain pens in here. Just in the front, I have a few cards, and I've got my cat Post-its, so that I can remember to use them. I've got the page lifter. Behind that, I just am using this page lifter for any Post-its I want to put on there. I have this little Post-it thing that I had. It was part of the Martha Stewart collection, and it originally had these two Post-its and then some little tabs up here. I ran out of the tabs, but I added these little page flags. I just taped it on the back, and it fits perfectly in here so that I have those with me at work. Then I have some lined paper. And all of my inserts are with the balloons theme, and it worked out perfectly because the binder is a light lilac and all of the pages and tabs are a light purple, and so I think it just works really well together. It's really pretty. I'm actually going to add some light here. Wow, that was bright. Sorry about that, but I feel like it's getting a little bit dark, and I was trying to capture the color of the binder, but it didn't work out very well. So I've got these address tabs, and I won't take you through each of them, but I am using them to write down contacts. So I'll show you a tab. So you get one page with a tab on it for each letter, except W, X, and Y and Z are combined. And so what I've done, and not every tab is going to have something written on it, but I've written down contacts that I would want to have if my phone wasn't working, but I use my phone pretty much like most people do for all of my contacts. In addition to that, I'm using my tabs my address tabs as a filing cabinet for my planner. So for example, in filed behind B, not only would I have my contacts, but I also have a to buy list. So anything I want to buy, I'm just writing it on this list so I can keep track of it, and it files behind there. Or for example, G. So I've got my contacts for G, and then I have my grocery list behind that. Or Y. I have no contacts for Y, but if I did, I would have them on here, and then I have my YouTube video list behind that. So I'm just using it as a filing cabinet to keep track of different notes. I prefer that to having a section for every single thing, like a to-do list, a to-buy section, of this, of that, of this. This kind of all separates out nicely anyway, and I try not to overthink when I file it. I just put it in the section that automatically comes to mind, and it's pretty easy to find. There's not many to flip through if I forget. The next section I have is my calendar section. So again, the Blooms inserts, and I've just got the yearly calendars here. And then what I have is I have 3 months at a time with complete pages, which is what Franklin Covey suggests. Beyond that, I have just the monthly tabs for the rest of the year. So I have from July 2016 to June 2017 in here and beyond. But I'm just keeping the daily pages for 3 months. So what I've got is I use my monthly calendars for forward planning. So if I flip ahead to, let's say, October, you can see I have several things already written in here that I want to have to be able to add to my daily pages, but I don't have room for all of the daily pages. So monthly calendars are for forward planning. Within that, I have my daily calendar, my day on 2 page. And so how I'm using that is I've got my prioritized task list that I'm using, and I'm prioritizing it using their system. I'm using their little symbols to mark things as done or transfer them or whatever. In the daily tracker section, I'm putting my meal plan. For the appointment schedule, I'm just putting timed appointments. I was going to do time tracking, and after doing that a couple times, I realized that's just a burden that is not going to add to my life at this point. It was a nice idea though. Should try it, right? See how I like it. And then over here, I have just notes for the day. So this I just started using, and I went back to work today. So I've been on vacation. I haven't had a lot of things. I've had a lot of tasks, but not like much else going on. I did have a few appointments and things like that. And I know that blank pages bother some people, but it does not bother me. I do not feel the need to fill up every page. So like I'll have this was last Wednesday. I had a lot of things I needed to do. I had my meal plan, but I had no appointments and I had no notes for the day. Totally doesn't bother me. But let's fast forward a little bit. So, oh, and another thing I wanted to say. So another thing I've been doing is anything that's like key for me to know for that day. So my mom's birthday, when I had it on my calendar, I wrote that up at the top. So this little space, there's a little space up here, and each time there's something important that I just need to know, I'll put it up there. And so what my plan is for work, and then I'm using this as the page finder. I haven't done the starter pack stuff yet, so I don't really know what goes in the compass card at this point. I'm not too worried about it. I'll figure it out. But my plan for work, and we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to force it. I'll go back to what I know works, or I will try something else. But what my idea is that I will have my tasks for work up at the top. So let's say I need to make copies or turn in an attendance report or something like that. Do grades. That goes here. My tasks for home go at the bottom. My meal plan goes here. Any timed appointments I will have here. And on the notes page, I will put my lesson plans for the day. And sometimes I may teach 2 different classes in a day, or I might just teach 1 class in a day, or 1 subject in a day. And so if I have to teach 2 subjects in a day, I'm confident that I can fit them both on this. If I have to teach 1 subject in a day, then I know I can for sure fit it on here, along with probably other notes too if I want to take other notes. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about for work, is I will have all the tasks both at work and home that I need to accomplish. I'll have my meal plan, timed appointments, and lesson plans. So I can look at the day and really see and get an idea of what all do I have to do, what all is practical and reasonable for me to do in the day compared to, what I have to do at work versus what I, can maybe work around at home. So I think that this will work. If it doesn't, I'll find out, I'm sure. So that is my plan for the daily pages. And if I don't like it and I have to eat the cost of the daily pages, I think I'm okay with that. Or maybe I'll try to sell them in a Facebook group. That's one thing I have found. People are selling used stuff all the time, and you can get a really good deal on it. So if you'd like to try something, I would suggest looking there. So I told you about forward planning with the monthly pages. And I love these gold 1.5-inch rings because I can really put all of this in here and make it a true one book system. Included in the Franklin Covey planner pack, they give you a whole year of month on one page. So I have July 2017, and I actually had something to write in July. So July 2017 all the way to June 2018 for forward planning. Then they give you 2018, the entire year, all the way to December on this page. Then they give you 2019, the whole year. And I actually had something to write in 2019, 3 years away from now. So it is truly, you are truly able to forward plan. And for all of that, if I took out this is what I have for forward planning for years. And then this part is like day on 2 page, right? That's what takes up the bulk. And so you just take away and add as needed. To again truly make this one book July, because I did have a separate finance binder, I looked at the finance binder and I thought, what do I really actually need? And I don't necessarily need to carry this with me to work, but to have everything in one place and not have multiple folders on my desk. It's clutter. This really streamlined it. And this isn't, giving anything away. If somebody were to see this at work, I put it in the back, and you really don't even notice it. Behind all the calendar pages, you don't even notice it at all. But it is way at the back, and it takes up hardly any room. It is this much. I took out any extra pages. I only have what I'm using. And what I've done, and I think you can see that, is I've added a tab across the top and down the sides. And I've just listed the major categories of our expenses. So, for example, when I have receipts for gas, I will open this up. I have the checkbook register pages. I list where it was, I list the expenses, and I have this for, all of the major categories. At the end of the month, I am going to total those up, and in the bills tab, I am going to, in the bills tab, these are just your bills, so like rent, utilities, gas, and it has a spot for due date and how much you paid and all of that. So I'm keeping track of that. Then in the monthly budget tab, you have your worksheet. So I will take what's in the check registers, transfer it over here, get some totals and transfer it over, and see where we're doing with our budget for each month. In my finance binder, I had the whole year worth of inserts, but I realized I really only need that month. I only need one page in there, and I can keep the rest of it in a storage binder on a shelf out of the way. I have the debt consolidation paper, and so I have our student loans listed there. I only needed one page for that. I have the yearly finance page, and this is where you kind of just bring it all together to get a big picture. And then I have the auto tab where I'm keeping track of the services on our cars. And behind that I have a piece of cardstock. I probably don't even need that there. And then I have a page lifter. There's a big pocket in the back of this that I'm not using. I had some bills in there, and then I thought I don't need to bring that with me to work. I have a beautiful desk. I can just put it in a sorter on my desk. And this is truly one book. And so I'm really excited to see how it works out. Again, if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be, too hard on myself. I will just move on to something else and see what happens. But it's such a pretty planner. My only hesitation with it is it is so big and heavy, but there's a lot of stuff in it. And it has a lot of information that I think is useful and practical. And I've pared it down to what I think is really essential. And I really am looking forward to having the whole picture in front of me for my day, so that I have a good idea of what's going on throughout my day, instead of having things separated out and having to write post-it notes to myself and, you know, put the post-it note in my lunch so I remember something after work, and then, or put the post-it note in my lunch at work so I remember something at home. It's just, I like the idea of having it all here. I think in about a month and a half I'll have a good idea if this actually works. And so I will do the updates for One Book July, but I think that I won't know if this all is working out for me until I get in there and, you know, give it a good run through. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I know I'm enjoying looking at everybody's videos, and you just get a lot of really good ideas from other people. And another thing I've thought about is, you know, I get so many good ideas from people, but really I have to think about what is essential to my life and what will I actually find helpful and useful, rather than like another task or a burden to, you know, that I feel obligated to track something or whatever, when that doesn't really bring anything useful to me. So this is what I think will work for me now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using it. So again, I hope you found this useful. If you have comments or questions, please leave them below. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.